The dream of greater fulfillment, purpose, and passion does not have to be just a dream. It is within your reach, and it's easier to travel this path than you think. If you'd like to learn more, schedule in one of my Empower Hour consultations. You can do that at the link you'll find above. We live in a world that is very focused on perfection. We're always reminded of the fact that we can always climb higher. We're always reminded of how we can always do better. We're always told how we should tap into our potential so that we can actualize that. And all of these things, well, whilst on a certain level, they remind us of our potential. They don't do quite as much in terms of helping us to realize and recognize that in those simple day-to-day moments, we're already doing those things. We're already accomplishing great things. We're already reaching high, and we're already achieving those high places. We're always tapping into our potential with each moment. I mean, sometimes as simply as when you have a bill to pay and you have to randomly find a way to make it happen. Or when you have to multitask and do 20 different things simultaneously. Or quite as simple as when you roll over in bed and get up that first thing in the morning. You're doing that successfully. Every single moment, you're tapping into that potential. Every single moment, you're a living victory. Every single moment, you're a living sacrifice to greater and greater levels of greatness within you. But just because of that, and just because, well, maybe it is good to always do better, it doesn't mean that we should ignore how great we are already. You see, abundance, fulfillment, it doesn't need to always be like those grapes that are just out of your reach constantly. How you're going, I want that. I can't quite reach it. Okay, I'll stop spazzing out, I promise, right? It's not always something that we have to reach for, you see? And in setting ourselves apart with us here and what we're striving for as being up there, we're missing the bigger picture. And we do that on every single level. We do it with our religion, our spiritual beliefs. We do it with material things. When in actuality, that fulfillment that we want, that fulfillment that we need, is never out of our reach. There will always be a lack in your life if there is a lack in here. There will always be no fulfillment in your life if you are not fulfilled in here. Now, I hear what you're saying. You're going, yeah, but even that is duality, even that is dualistic, even that is doing that. But the solution is much simpler than you think. You are infinitely abundant. You are infinitely great, because that thing that you see yourself as somehow being separate from, you are not separate from at all. You are living in abundance, living in potential, and living in fullness every single day. And it is only your perspective on the situation that's keeping you in that space of feeling like you're lacking, feeling like you're making do, but you're not really satisfied, feeling like you can always do better, feeling like you can always reach higher, always looking at that person that you're seeing somehow as being above you and going, if only I could do that, or if only I could do this, rather than looking inside and going, look at everything that I've done. Look at all that I have accomplished. Look at everything that I have to be grateful for. Look at everything that I truly, truly have the capacity to be grateful for. Now, I know what you mean. I know what you're thinking. You're going, okay, but right, when I go online and I look up my bank balance and there's nothing in there, I don't feel satisfied with that. When I go to the refrigerator and open that door and see that, there's no food in the fridge, I don't feel happy with that. I don't feel satisfied with that. Wouldn't I be lying to myself? No, no. And here's the thing. We have come to see the concept of making do. We've come to see the concept of making do as somehow settling for second best, right? And the thing is, in every single moment, there are infinite levels of abundance available to you in your life. The things that you're going through that are seemingly challenges, those too are prosperous moments. They're giving you something on a deeper level. They're giving you something on a greater level. They're giving you an abundance of wisdom. If you ever go through, and I don't wish this upon you at all, because um, I think that it's hard. Life has, difficulties in it. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. You're probably experiencing some of those yourself right now. But when you're able to go through hardship and you don't lose your dignity, you don't forget who you are, you don't miss the point of why you're there, something comes to you that's greater than you might imagine. And, if you're suffering right now, my heart goes out to you. I've been in that place of suffering before too. I've been in that place of suffering more often than I might like to say, right? But what I've learned is there's always something there. Something amazing always happens. Something comes through. We always get something from the situation, even if it's not necessarily what we want, even if it feels on a certain level like our basic material needs are not being met. There's something that we get from that. There is abundance in every single moment. And the miraculous thing is, the more that you let yourself experience that, the higher you can grow. But you're not doing so necessarily because you're seeing yourself as down here where there's something else to attain, but you're understanding that the fact that you feel that you're lacking all boils down to a matter of perspective. Now, you can't just click your fingers and go through this. I understand that. It takes going through experiences, it takes letting yourself experience that wealth of emotion, that wealth of feeling, that wealth of transition. Yes, I'm even going to say it, that wealth of pain, that wealth of experience that comes with that pain, the sadness, experiencing a wealth of sadness. But without knowing these things, we can't know the opposite either, because we live in a world of dualism. So if there's going to be elation, then by the very nature of existence, there has to be that sadness. Every single experience you're going through is giving you a blessing. It's giving you a gift. And when you reach that space of truly being able to see that gift in every single moment, or look for that gift in every single moment, that's when something miraculous really happens. Because you begin to recognize that what you were seeing as a rat race, where you're competing with billions of other rats for a tiny morsel or a tiny crumb, is no longer like that. It's a virtual smorgasbord of existence. It's a virtual smorgasbord of sensory awareness, of understanding, and tapping in to the true wealth that lies within you. And from there, the experience of true fulfillment can be found. And all those other things that you're going through where you think that you have to do better, you have to reach higher, you somehow have to be more, you begin to recognize that I'm already accomplishing great things. I'm already worthy enough. I'm already doing well. I've already climbed pretty high. Maybe not by somebody else's standards, but by my own. And when you recognize that, then you begin to see it's not this constant pushing, it's not this constant striving. It is merely a state of existence where I'm more infinitely abundant than I have ever really imagined, that I've already done great things. You see, with this particular full moon, it's conjuncting Mars in Mrigasira Nakshatra. And there is an energetic tone, especially when it boils down to Mars, because Mars is the natural problem solver in astrology. Mars always needs to have a battle to fight. It always needs to have a struggle. And it's not always the best at being able to find that space where it's able to rest and relax and actually be okay with what it's accomplished. The sun is across the sky in Jeshta. Jeshta, interestingly enough, is connected to Indra. And Indra is the one who conquered his senses. And when we begin to recognize that we can either allow our senses to show us a world that is filled with lack, or we can allow our senses to see the truth of existence in which great things have already been accomplished, great battles have already been won, because the number one battle that you have to go through in life is you versus you. And once you decide that, hey, this is a battle I don't really need to fight, that's when the struggle stops. So this experience, to a certain degree, any experience you may be having where you're going through a lack of fulfillment, feeling like you're somehow not doing good enough, and that happens a lot, especially for those of us who are parents during the holiday season, of feeling that we're somehow not doing good enough or not doing well enough or not achieving the mark or not reaching our goals. Recognize the simple pleasures of life. Recognize the smile on a dog, the coyness of a cat, the beauty of the sun rising every morning and poking through the clouds. And you'll begin to recognize that all those things that you've been judging yourself as somehow not being good enough to have in your life, all those people you've been seeing yourself as somehow being lower than, all those things that you're comparing yourself against, you'll begin to recognize there is no need for comparison. And life really, truly is much more wonderful than I've given myself the capacity to see. Would you like to tap in to greater and greater levels of abundance within here? Because ultimately, that's what it's all about. All these experiences that you're going through, these things that you want to know about in life, like when you're going to get that job, when you're going to get a relationship, all of those things have at their root you working through the karmic patterns in your life. When you can see the true nature of that and go to the heart of the problem, that's when the magic of astrology really happens. And that's what the empowered approach to astrology is all about. And if you'd like to experience that in action, please feel free to schedule in one of my Empower Hour consultations. You can do that at the link you'll see above. Thanks a lot for letting me come on today. I'm really grateful for the fact that you watch and you listen to me talk, and that you even comment from time to time. Please feel free to comment in the comment section below. That's going to do it for this look at the full moon in Mrigasira Nakshatra, which takes place on the 8th of December, 2022. I should say overnight from the 7th into the of December 2022. Depends on if you're in the States or further on, because it's different, time zones. Thanks a lot for watching, and please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.